Welcome to Everyday Woman. It is hard to get a job out there, even if you have a college degree, but we have Reese Alexander, the Sassy Suit HR exec, to give you all your answers. Thanks for being here, Reese.
It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
Well, you know, for so many 20-somethings, when they're going out there, you know, for their entry-level jobs, they'd rather be Mark Zuckerberg than get an entry-level job. Wouldn't we all? So what do you say to those folks who just want to get to the top?
Well, you know, you have to pay your dues, because if you don't respect the position, you know, how you got there, because there's a process, and you know, the best method is to follow that process so that you can say, I earned every single credit that I got.
Absolutely. Well, and I think some of the biggest mistakes, you know, young people make, especially when they're looking for a job, they're telling the employer, this is why it works so well for me. This job is perfect for me, and, you know, it's going to make everything better for me. Why is that not the right thing to do?
Well, you know, I think a lot of times it's nerves in the interview, you know, especially if you haven't been on a lot of interviews. They tend to get nervous, and you hear a lot, I want your job. Well, it's like, do you really know what I had to go through to get this job?
Yeah.
So it's fine if you want to aspire to get to my particular position or anyone else's, but there, you know, you have to pay dues. And another thing that I hear a lot of 20-somethings that really don't have the career experience yet is that they'll want perks that go with a position of someone that's been in it maybe 20 years, such as I want to telecommute, or I want to, you know, work from home.
Well, 5 weeks vacation.
Right, exactly. X, Y, and Z has those perks, but X, Y, and Z, you know, Sally Sue has been in her position 20 years and, you know, has paid her dues. So again, you know, you don't want to come across as you know, arrogant to your manager, saying, you know, I want X, Y, and Z, when you really haven't paid your dues.
This is what I can do. But I think, you know, a lot of times what they're not telling the employer, like, this is why you want to hire me. These are my skills, and this is what I'm going to offer your company. It's more, your company can offer, you know, me so much, and, you know, you're exactly what I need in my life. Company doesn't care about that, right?
No. You know, treat it almost like a relationship. You know, how would you like it if someone was presenting themselves to you? You want to have an aspiration to get to a certain level, but you don't want to oversell yourself, because you can't back it up. You know, you just don't. And if you don't have the career path and the experience under your belt, you don't want to come across as entitled. You know, I'm entitled to this, because that turns a manager off, and you have just ruled yourself out of the game, and there are 100 other people right behind you that your manager can select from.
How big of a problem is this? I mean, you've mentioned a few times the entitlements and not paying your dues. Is it a major problem with 20-somethings? Are you seeing that?
It is a problem. You hear it all the time in the media. You know, you can read it anywhere online. That this is the entitlement generation, because I think part of it is that parents, you know, all parents want their kids to have a better life than they did. And if something's given to you and you haven't earned it, then it's like, oh, you know, I'm entitled to this. It's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not. Well, tell me, this is a question I have. What would a career woman, or, you know, anyone, want to tell their 20-something self?
I think to work hard. You know, when you pay your dues, people respect that. Not only will others respect that, you'll respect yourself, and you'll appreciate it, because when you have something that's just given to you, it means nothing. But when you've earned it, no one can take that away from you.
Well, absolutely. And I think for me too, I'm like, if you know, in my 20s, I'm not that far away, but, you know, I wish I would have, you know, thrown myself 200-300%, not even just 110%, because that's the time to do it.
Right. And one of the things is that, you know, we can imagine that when we were 20-somethings that, you know, we made stupid mistakes. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's keep it real here. And, you know, there is a learning and a growing process, and it's just something that you have to go through. But, you know, if someone's giving you advice, listen to it.
That's great advice. And for more advice, you can go to reesealexander.net.